So, Ajay, it makes me deeply sad that something that you were involved in, that Susan was involved in, that Bhargavi was involved in, is today being dismissed by some random uncle as third rate. I do not like this. But jokes apart, what's the way forward? How could it get better in just in terms of the frames through which we think about it? How do we need to think differently?
So one very useful classification scheme in the world of public policy is that of inputs and outcomes. Okay, so for example, classic education setting, we talked about it. The inputs are the schools, the outputs are the grades that kids get at school or the teaching that is delivered at school. And the outcomes are actually learning, that we are doing all this for a reason, that we want the kids to learn. How would we apply that here? The inputs are a bankruptcy law, some NCLT, some creditors coming together in a committee. All that is the inputs. The outputs is a flow of bankruptcy cases where somebody goes bankrupt, goes to the NCLT, and there is some percentage of the money of the creditors that comes back to them. But the outcome that we want is a better working credit market where there are borrowers and there are lenders and they play this smooth process because they all know that these are the rules of the game. So, your likelihood of defaulting changes when you know that this kind of threat is there at the end. This is where the glory of what we see in advanced economies. In advanced economies, most transactions are privately negotiated between the creditors and the shareholders under the threat of the law. So the term used is in the shadow of the law. Only a few cases go to court because you're not able to find the correct negotiation. Most cases, actually, the behavior of all counterparties is changed. So what you want as the outcome is a better commercial culture, better credit discipline where borrowers are keen to repay and then lenders are keen to lend. So, leverage in India should go up when the bankruptcy code comes in. And most disputes should get resolved in the shadow of the law through private negotiations.